Okay, guys, second take. I just recorded 2 full videos and then I had some of my dinner on my chin and I was like, should I upload without it? And then I thought, no, I'm going to look like a fucking idiot. So here we are, take 2. Let's talk about Champs Grand Finals. Man, wow. Guys, we've got E Clasico as Grand Finals of the World Championship for the first time ever. And it feels like it's at a perfect time. Like, guys, this is the biggest match in the history of Call of Duty. And it's not just because of the orgs. It's because of the storylines and legacy that come with all of these players. And we'll get to that in a minute. But let's talk about today, just briefly. FaZe and Optic square up. Oh my God, map 1 is the map of the year. Simp nearly drops 50, Mercs on 45. They're going blow for blow. Optic throw a little bit and FaZe take that map 1. FaZe kind of throw map 2 so many times. It should have been like 6-3 FaZe, but FaZe throw it and lose 6-5. Then Optic are very comfortable on the exposure. Map 4, 0-4 drops probably the best individual performance this entire year of any player against Optic on map 4. This guy just was a walking free piece. He couldn't miss. Everything he did was gold. It was fucking nuts. So we need more of that tomorrow in the finals. And map 5, which I was worried about because I really wanted FaZe to go to this grand finals through winners, because a losers final matchup, best of 5, I didn't really want it against any team. And FaZe clutch up 6-2. They've looked strong in S&D. Optic have looked weird, as they looked weird in their Falcons matchup. And what was weird about the series is FaZe win both hard points, and then Optic's S&D is looking weird. So, guys, I think it's anything can happen this best of 9, but I think it's FaZe's to lose tomorrow. And of course, once FaZe win, I give Optic fans so much shit. Of course, I love it. They would have gave me the same shit if they won. It's all fun and games. But at the end of the day, guys, this winners final doesn't matter at all. Doesn't matter at all. As long as you make it to grand finals, even if whoever lost Optic or FaZe, I said this in my video yesterday, if whoever loses, as long as you make it to grand finals, it's irrelevant, doesn't matter. So they're both there now. Winners finals will never be remembered. NYSL got 3-0'd by Ultra in MW2 winners finals, and then Ultra came out and NYSL came out and 5-0'd them in grand. So when we talk about MW2, we don't go, oh, yeah, it was great when Ultra. We never talk about it, right? We just talk about the 5-0. History's written by the winners. That's it. So it doesn't matter. We've got one best of 9, and that's it. And wow, guys, I don't think it's an understatement. I think there's quite a margin as well that it's the biggest match in the history of the esport. And I'll tell you why. FaZe Optic juggernauts, but that's just the underlying. Let's go through the 8 players. Let's start with Optic. Merc. Start with Merc. Could be a 2-time world champion. Would be the only player ever to win his first 2 champs after Karma. Wow, and then Karma would actually, Jesus Christ, I forgot Karma would have his sick freezer coat, freezer player, insane. But Merc would also then take over as the best start to a career ever, beating Simp. Because I think so far in this event, Hook's played great, but I think Merc's been Optic's best player. So if Optic win the event and they all kind of stay level in this series, the Optic players, I think Merc's going to win Champs MVP, and that would be back-to-back Champs MVPs, back-to-back wins. So you can't take that away. Like, that would be the best start to a career we've ever seen, even beating Simp. Damn, like, it's insane. The storylines are insane. Merc's so good, man. Merc is, for me, him and Simp just play a different level of Call of Duty when it comes to the mind. When it comes to game IQ and decision making, I don't think there's anyone on Simp and Merc's levels in the entire league. I think they are so far apart from the net. I couldn't even tell you who I think would be third. Their game IQ is just insane. Then we have Hook. And we have the old boy Hook, very disrespected this year, robbed of an all-star jacket, in my opinion, and he's been playing lights out this event. Doesn't have the best series against FaZe, but I mean, it's a losing series, so, not everyone can play great in that series. But he could join the 3-time world champion club. Definitely will help his legacy. I think a lot of people have Hook in like the high like teens, so probably like 18, 19, 20, around that region, which I think is fair. I don't think he's justified getting into that top 15 yet. I don't. I think there's other deserving players in there currently. But this kind of win would definitely help him in that. And again, he joins the 3-time world championship club. And he probably, if Optic win, which I don't want, I hope he gets the MVP of champs. I hope he has a lights out, map against FaZe, even though I hope Optic don't win. If they have to win, I hope Hook has a lights out grand final and wins champs MVP. Then we got Dashy and Shotzzy. We'll start with Dashy. This will be join in with Shotzi, the first ever people in the esport to go 3 world championships in a row. I don't even like it's a list that hasn't been wrote yet, and they'll be on a small list once they do it with those two. But in terms of like esports in general, I don't know if anyone's won 3 world championships in a row in other esports. I'm sure they probably have, but I'm sure the list is probably very small because there's a lot of esports out there. But guys, let me know if you know. Dashy, that will do a lot for his legacy. I think he jumps up to potentially into the top 10. Then I have Hydra in my 10. You know, the question is, the only people I have above Dashy at the moment that would stop him getting into the top 10 are Aches, Kenny, and Hydra. Question is, if he wins tomorrow, does he move above all 3 of those people? I don't know. You tell me. But, you know, he definitely adds way more weight to his individual career. But he's 8th championship, 3rd world championship, all in a row. And then it would show that he's starting to win later in his career. Guys, just in general, I do think he's going to retire at the end of the season. No one's confirmed that. I don't have intel. I just think Scrap's going to be a free agent in the off season, and like not bringing Scrap to Optic when clearly Scrap wants to join Optic and he's a free agent. I don't know if Hex is going to let that go twice, and Scrap might just sail off into the sunset, retire on top. It would be an aura move. You'd have to respect it. So I don't have a confirmation that that's going to happen, but I just think that could be a possibility. Okay, so that's Dashy. Then finally you've got Shotzi. Chance to become, not just to join Dashy with that triple world championship in a row. Be the first player in the esport to win 4 world championships, which no one's ever done. I think for some people that will cement him as the GOAT. Other people will have other opinions. I have my own opinions on him as an individual player, especially over the years, but you just can't deny 4 world championships in 7 years isn't extraordinary. Whoever you are, you know, he would be the only person to ever do that. And if your all-time list is just based on rings, then, you know, he's top of it. How could I argue with that? And then also, not just that, he not only would win his 4th, he would stop Simp winning his 3rd, right? So that kind of matchup that people argue, it's big. It's the biggest for Simp and Shotzi because they're versing each other. Like, there's a lot, you know, other people in this, as we discuss and will discuss, have different reasons for why their legacy and what's important for them. But that Simp versus Shotzi thing, it's not just winning, it's stopping the other person win. And how does that look for then, you know, moving that scale up and down for where you sit on an all-time list? There's a lot to play for from the Optic side. Let's look at FaZe. Let's start with the newbies on the team, Legends, 0-4 and Abuser. This Optic team stopped them winning a world championship last season and an EWC chip last season, which I'm sure they want to get their lick back. They do win their first event this season against Optic, beating them 4-1, which 0-4 having a 1.4 against them, just went absolutely lights out at Major 2. And wouldn't it be fitting to win your second chip also against Optic? And by the way, this ain't no scrub Optic team. This is, guys, I think you can make the argument this is the best Optic team of all time, even better than the Dynasty. I genuinely think you can make that argument. Even if you don't agree, they're up there. Like, it's close, by the way. Like, let's not pretend it isn't. You know, for Abuser and 0-4 to get that lick back, to beat them, and again, it's kind of the Simp Shotzi thing, not just win it, prevent them from winning one when they've made you lose in the past. Is such a huge thing, you know. They would have both won 2 chips against arguably the best team in the world. Definitely the best team in the world this year. Optic have been the best team in the game in Black Ops 7. So to win both of their chips, including 1 ring, against the best team in the world on Black Ops 7, plus the team that beat you in Black Ops 6 for a world championship in EWC, huge storyline. Then we got Draza. Wow. This guy is just a winner. I love Draza. I get asked about FaZe in the off season all the time on stream, and I just don't want this team to break up. I like, my favorite FaZe team is the MW3 team, even though the Cold War team people think was better. I think he's a winner. I think he's a grinder. You know, he's very disrespected. And when I did my all-time list, I had him, Priester, and Arcetes just missing out on the top 20, which felt hard to do, but I felt like some other people were justified. Draz definitely pushes himself into that like potential top 15 category if he wins this event. And in terms of a kind of a comedy element, he's always talking about being the CEO. What way to announce you are the CEO of Optic by winning the biggest COD match in the history of the esport in a Champs Grand Finals versus an Optic super team. He would be cemented the CEO forever. Even Aches made a joke on the flank that, like, I got to tip it, like, he's getting closer to my crown and he might take it. And to be honest, Aches, if you're watching, I think he might take it if he beats Optic in a World Championship Grand Final. And to be honest, if we're not lying at the start of the season, a better on paper team, and have come into the year having success together last season. So Draws, shout out to him, and I hope he gets it done. And I said at the start of I said in the week leading up to Champs, I can see a FaZe win and Draws a Champs MVP. I don't think right now he's going to win Champs MVP if FaZe win it. I think Simp will, or 04. But he might win Finals MVP. So I would love to see that for Draws if FaZe were to win. And then finally, we've got the boy, the pimp, Chris Lair. It's quite telling. I think a lot of people say to me, you know, like, these players don't care about individual accolades and like how people speak about them. But like, it was quite fitting if you look at the Falcons interview afterwards, that after FaZe Falcons, where they interviewed Chris. And he was just kind of, you could just tell his frustrations that he just feels he's disrespected, which he is, by the way. Like, people were saying if it wasn't Scrap for MVP, it would be Dashy when it's clearly simple Merc. Then he gets second team All-Star when he's definitely in first team All-Star with Joe Deceives as a sub. Then he gets ranked 5th best SMG in the game by the fans. Like, these people take the piss, man. They forget who this guy is. Guys, right now as we're recording this video, Simp is the best Call of Duty player of all time. The best Call of Duty player I've ever seen. Ever seen. This guy's ridiculous. Him and Merc have the highest game IQ out of any pro currently in the league. Him and Merc play COD on another wavelength. Their decision-making is second to none. This guy, he could win his 3rd World Championship. It's his 5th year out of the last 8 where he's a top 5 player in the game, with 4 of them where he's the best player in the world. He prevents Shotzzy winning his 4th for him to get his 3rd. Guys, he's just the... Guys, if Simp wins this match tomorrow and comes lights out and has a series, the GOAT debate's over. And I don't mean CDL GOAT. I mean all-time GOAT. Guys, if Simp has a good series against Optic tomorrow and he wills them to a win versus Shotzzy and Co. in grand finals in Viva Las Vegas, he's the all-time COD GOAT. We never need to speak about it again. We never have to speak about CDL GOAT. We never have to speak about all-time GOAT. It's done, man. Crim and Scump are retired. They can't catch him. Simp's still running them 8 years in. Unbelievable. Just what a matchup we've got on our hands tomorrow. Like, wow. Going into this matchup, I think currently, because they haven't lost yet, Simp is probably Champs MVP at the moment. And then, you know, Aluka and Cell were great, but now they're out. 04 has been great. Abuza's been great. Merc and Hook have been great. But I think going into the matchup, Simp is probably favourite for Champs MVP. I think Merc from the Optic side has probably been their best player, with Hook not far behind. So let's see what happens there. And I predicted before this event, I predicted a week before the event my bracket. Some things I got wrong, but I had FaZe going through winners and Optic going through losers to meet in grand finals, and I had FaZe winning 5-3. I'm not going to change my prediction now. I think that's going to be the score. It's quite telling, guys, how nervous people are, because usually I would have Optic fans after they beat Falcons disrespecting me, calling me every name under the sun, but every Optic fan I seem to have spoke to is like, good luck tomorrow. And what that tells me, and quite rightfully, is that Optic fans are very, very worried about this matchup. They know it's all on the line. They know if they talk shit, it might come back to bite them. And guys, it's the same on the FaZe side. Like, I don't think any fan of either team is going into the series tomorrow like buzz, like, guys, we're the favourite. This is going to be a piece of cake. Give us that ring. I think both fans quite rightly are nervous and are like, damn, I don't know which way this is going to go. Guys, this could be 5-1 Optic. This could be 5-1 FaZe. This could be 5-4 either team. The only certainty, I think, is if somehow Hassi Hardpoint gets in, that Optic win that map. Jesus Christ, they're the Hassi Hardpoint Reapers. But other than that, I think every map mode combination, either team can beat the other on. Like, FaZe are winning Hardpoints today. Optic SMD's shaky, but they somehow win the Den. Like, it's nuts. And guys, I just want to say one thing to close out. History is written by the winners. It doesn't matter if Shotzzy drops a 0.7 tomorrow and Simp drops a 1.2. If Optic win, people are going to say Shotzi's the GOAT. Doesn't matter if Simp drops a 0.7 and Shotzzy drops a 1.2 and FaZe win. People are going to say Simp's the GOAT. History is written by the winners, and all we'd have is one best of 9 for the biggest match by far in the history of the esport. All I can say, if you're a FaZe fan, keep your fingers crossed. All I can say if you're an Optic fan is good luck, may the best team win. And all I can say if you're a neutral, wow, you couldn't have asked for a better grand finals, right? Let's see who wins. It's going to be a banger. I've got my fingers crossed for FaZe, but If Optic win it, it is what it is. The better team won. And yeah, let's all get ready for the best match in the history of the esport. Peace out.